Hello, welcome to the Crochet Cakes YouTube channel. Today I'm excited to share with you this popcorn heart fillet motif. In this tutorial, I'm going to be using a 5mm crochet hook and some worsted weight cotton yarn. I'm just using white because I hope you can see it clearly. So we're going to start with making a slip knot, and then we're going to proceed to make a chain. Now we're going to need a chain that's going to be 13 plus 1. So that will be a total of 14 chains. After completing our 14 chains, we're going to turn our chain so the back bump of the chain is facing us. And into the second back bump of this chain, we're going to insert our hook and we're going to do our stacked single crochet. The stacked single crochet is a stand-in for the beginning double crochet of the row. And now we're going to start the repeat for the row, which is chain 1, skip 1 chain or 1 back bump, and work a double crochet into the next back bump. Again, chain 1, skip 1 back bump, and into the next back bump work a double crochet. And we'll keep repeating this until we reach the last stitch or chain of the row. Now the repeat ends with 1 double crochet in the last stitch. This is what our row 1 looks like. Now we are going to chain 1 and we're going to turn. And we start row 2. Now row 2 is going to have popcorn stitches, but since we're facing the back of our work, we are going to have to do our popcorn stitch just a little bit differently to make sure that it pops out on the right side of our work. We start row 2 with a double crochet. Now remember that our beginning double crochet is a stacked single crochet. Now we're going to start the beginning of our repeat, which is chain 1, and skip the chain space, work a double crochet in the next stitch. And we're going to do this once more. So chain 1, skip the chain space and work a double crochet into the next stitch. Now we're going to chain 1 again. And into the next double crochet, we're going to work our popcorn stitch. But for this pattern, the popcorn stitch is going to be a 3 double crochet popcorn. So that's the first double crochet. Now we're working the second double crochet and the third double crochet. So that is 3 double crochets into the same stitch. Now, because this is the wrong side of the work, and like I said, we want the popcorn to face the right side, we're going to be inserting our hook from the right side of the work into that first double crochet of the 3. And then we are going to grab that loop and we're going to pull the loop through, and we're going to finish off the popcorn by chaining 1. This chain 1 is the end of our popcorn stitch, okay? So far we have the popcorn popping out on the right side of the work. We also have 3 double crochets, okay? And now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 again. And we're going to skip the chain space and we are going to work a double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip the space and work a double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1 and work our last double crochet. So at the end of row 2, we should have 6 double crochet stitches and the popcorn facing the right side of the work. Now to start row 3, we are going to chain 1 and turn. Okay, And we're going to start again with a, sorry, my hand's really shaking today. Um, so row 3 is going to be another popcorn row, but this time we are right side facing, so we're just going to make our popcorn as we traditionally would. Now to start row 3, we're going to start with a stacked single crochet into the first stitch, and we know that this replaces our double crochet. So the repeat right for this section is going to be double crochet, which we've just done, chain 1. Remember to skip the chain space and work a double crochet on top of the next stitch, and we are going to chain 1 again. Now we end this little section by working a double crochet on top of the double crochet. So what we have now is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and now the last double crochet of the segment. So for this next one, we are not chaining 1. What we're actually going to be doing is we're going to be working a popcorn stitch into the chain space. Remember, this is going to be a 3 double crochet popcorn into the chain space, sorry. So since we are right side facing, we're going to insert our hook into the first double crochet of the 3 from the right side of the work to the back. So front to back. And we're going to grab that loop and we're going to pull it through. Remember to close the popcorn by chaining 1. Now on top of the popcorn from the previous row, which is going to be in this chain that closed it off, we're going to work another popcorn. So that is working 3 double crochets into the chain right on top of the popcorn. And again, after completing our popcorn or our 3 double crochet into the chain, we are going to remove our hook and we're going to insert our hook front to back. So we're going to locate the first double crochet of the 3 that we made and we're going to insert our hook. Sorry. Okay, now insert our hook front to back. And pull that loop through and do a chain 1 to close our popcorn stitch. And now into the chain space, we are going to work a last popcorn for this row. Remember to complete the popcorn by doing a chain of 1. This is what we have until now. We have our double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and our 3 popcorns. So now we are once again going to be working the beginning repeat of making a double crochet into the double crochet stitch, chain 1, skip the chain space, and into the next double crochet work a double crochet, chain 1, skip the last chain space and work a double crochet on top of the last double crochet. At the end of row 3, we should have 3 double crochet stitches and 3 popcorn stitches, as well as 2 chain 1 spaces. Alright, now starting row 4, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn. And we are going to be working a double crochet into the first stitch or a stacked single crochet. Next, we are going to chain 1. And we are going to work a double crochet in the double crochet. Now we're going to chain 1 again, and we are going to skip the chain space, But into the double crochet stitch right here, we are going to be working a popcorn stitch. Remember that the popcorn stitch is worked by making 3 double crochets into the same space. And this time, since we are wrong sides facing, we have to actually make the popcorn stitch pop on the right side. In order to do that, we are not going to be inserting our hook from front to back. That would be the normal way. What we're going to do is we're going to insert our hook from back to front, okay? And we're going to close off the popcorn stitch by chaining 1. And now we are going to be working 4 more popcorn stitches. In this case, we're going to be working the popcorn stitches right on top of the popcorn stitches. In order to do that, we work into the chain that closed off the popcorn. Finishing off the second popcorn, now we're going to be making 3 more. Remember, we should have a total of 5 popcorn stitches. We do the chain 1 to close, and that completes our third popcorn. The fourth popcorn is also going to be worked in the chain space right above the popcorn stitch. We work the last popcorn stitch into the double crochet that's right to the left of that popcorn. Chain 1 to close the popcorn, and then after that we're going to do another chain 1. This chain 1 is the one that we're going to use to skip the chain space and work a double crochet in the next stitch. Now we're going to chain 1 and work a double crochet in the last double crochet. So when we're not working the popcorn stitches to complete the heart, we are working our mesh stitch. This is what row 4 looks like on the right side of the work. So we have the very bottom of our heart. We've started building it, and now we've made the very top of our heart. Now we're going to start row 5. So that means that we're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn. Once again, we're going to start with a double crochet in the first double crochet. I'm choosing to make a stacked single crochet here, but the important thing is that after the double crochet, we're going to be chaining 1. Remember to skip your chain space, work a double crochet in the next stitch, and chain 1. So after the chain of 1, we're going to be making a popcorn stitch on top of the previous row popcorn. and make a popcorn in the next popcorn. So that means working in the chain 1 of the popcorn. Chain 1 to close the popcorn, and now we're going to chain 1 again so that we can skip the next popcorn and work in the following one. We're going to work a popcorn right here. So we've skipped this popcorn, we're working a popcorn here. Next, we're going to work another popcorn. After completing this popcorn with a chain of 1, we are going to chain 1 again. Okay, we're going to skip the chain space and work a double crochet in the next double crochet. Chain 1 again, skip the chain space and work a double crochet in the last stitch of the row. So this is what the completed row 5 looks like. We've completed our heart. Now the next row is going to be another mesh stitch row. So the mesh stitch is double crochet, chain 1, skip the chain and double crochet. So essentially what we're going to be doing is double crochet in the double crochet stitches and chain 1 to separate them, right? All right, so we chain 1, and our next stitch is actually a popcorn stitch. So we're going to do a double crochet on top of that popcorn. And we're going to chain 1, and we're going to skip the next stitch. So we're treating the next stitch as if it was a chain space, and we're actually going to work a double crochet into the chain that's between the popcorn stitches. We chain 1 again, and we skip the next popcorn stitch, and we work a double crochet on top of the following popcorn. Chain 1, we skip the chain space, and we work a double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1 again, and we work a double crochet into the last stitch of the row. Okay, so this is the end of row 6. Row 6, as I said, was another mesh stitch row, and you should compare that you have the same number of chain spaces and double crochet stitches as we had in row 1. We made our small sample with a chain of 14. However, if you would like to add more repeats lengthwise, then you would need multiples of 13 plus 3. So for this gray sample that I'm working up here, I have actually done 42 chains, and from those 42 chains, I started the repeats. Now, I will say that if you want to repeat rows 1 through 6, that you actually add more mesh stitch rows or solid stitch rows between your heart motifs to separate them. I cannot wait to see what you actually make with this little motif. I think it would look great as a headband or joined together to maybe make a cover up for something, or even if you are in the mood for a big, big project, I think it would work really well as a curtain as well, or a filet bedspread if you just want something to throw on top of your duvet. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of crafty time with me today. I will see you in my next video. Happy crafting! Bye!